Sorry, gas powered generator. There's a new kid on the block. It's kicking butt. You might need to take a back seat for a minute. Today I'm going to take a look at this VTOMAN 1800 watt pure sine wave solar powered generator, battery bank, whatever you want to call it. It features 1800 watts of power delivery. You know, something like this super duper quiet Honda can only put out 1600 watts of constant, 2000 peak. I think this one puts out 3600 peak. And I've been playing around with it, pretty impressed with it. So I'm going to bring you guys along. We're going to plug a bunch of stuff into it, see if we can short it out, overload it, put it through its test just like I have the Honda forever, and see what this will do and if this can actually replace gasoline for me, maybe for you. So let's play with it. So it has the basic features you would expect, like a 12 volt cigarette outlet, USB, USB-C, 3 AC outlets. And then most don't have this. This is actually a jump start feature. So you could actually buy the little jumper cables and jump start your car battery if it died. But this also has something that a lot don't have, and this is the ability to add more batteries to it. So you can actually get another box, and I have one, and I'll show you guys in a minute. And we'll parallel another box to it so I can actually double the capacity of this by just linking another battery to it. It automatically switches over. But we have some solar inputs, or you can charge it with your car, or you can charge it just off AC right here. So I've lined up a few power tools around here. Here we have a large vintage Craftsman drill. Let's plug that in. We'll see if it runs something like this. If you look right here, this is actually how many watts it's drawing. There, it dims down after a while. Ow. So over 600 watts when I load it down. No problem whatsoever. Just shy of 700. Feels just like you plugged it into the wall. What about something a little bit bigger? We have a 9-inch angle grinder here. A big boy. We don't have anything really to grind, but let's see how many watts this is. 10 amps. 10 amps, but it should be, so that would be 1200 watts, but it'll be more than that under heavy load. It peaked about 1341. Can't really grab onto this and slow this down without ripping my hand off. $1,600, no problem. $1,900, no problem. $1,150 on this. Now you can hear it actually has a built-in cooling fan that runs when you draw like huge loads. I do have a vintage super high powered heat gun right here for automotive use that is a beast. And that's just air. And that 1,600 watts. Let's plug the other one in, see if we can get this thing to overload. That's on low. We're over 2,000 watts. Well, we're there for a second. 1,900. It's cutting it down. So it seems like it can do 2,000 watts. This is only rated for 1,800, 3,600 peak. But it seems like it can readily do 2,000 watts. And then it regulates itself down to help protect itself. Let's see if I can actually test the decibels of the fan in there. So it looks like from 3 feet away, it's roughly 60 decibels, the fan on it. It's kind of noisy, you know, further away you get, the quieter it is. But it only runs absolutely when it needs to. So this is a 1,500 watt heater. It looks small, but it's just as powerful as the biggest one you can buy. So we'll plug that in. Look at the screen. There you go. In this scenario, actually, I think the, because this is whisper quiet, I actually think the fan is louder than that. So in that scenario, it is a little bit annoying, but you would never want to run a heater off something like this because you're going to get no time. If you look right here, running this, this is at 96% capacity. I can only run it for 1.1 hours, and then the battery in here will die. So that's kind of cool. It gives you a feature. So we got one plugged in. It is winter, so you're not going to have perfect, but I'm still being able to pull. It says 97. I don't know if you guys can read that, but it'll peak out at about 108. That's 94, 100, 105, 108. Let's plug the other solar panel in and see what we can get with two. With two panels set up, seems about the max I can get is around 168, and it's right there right now, 170 actually. It's hard to see the panel because it's directly in the sunlight. So 170 is the max I've been able to get. 169, 171, 173, 180, 181. And it says at this rate, it's at 94%. It'll take a half hour, 0.5 of an hour to charge back up. And now a cloud. The loveliness of solar. So I'm super curious to see if it'll actually run this little 5,000 BTU window AC unit. But let's parallel it first. This doesn't actually increase the amount of power it puts out. It'll actually only use this battery or this battery. It just increases the runtime. So this one, you can see they look identical, like exterior wise. But this one is just a battery and a fair bit cheaper than this one that has all the inverter and everything else into it. Now these are lithium iron phosphate. I'm not going to go a ton into it versus something where you can just get a lithium ion battery. The short story is these have a usable life of 3 to like 5,000 cycles of discharge, recharge. After 3,000 cycles, they still maintain like 85% of their capacity. Lithium ion has about 300 cycles. So that's just the short story. So you want lithium iron phosphate if you're looking for any of these. All we do, so this one just has a meter over here. It's not digital or anything else, but it's just a battery. It'll tell everything on here. So we just plug it in, and what it actually does is then it'll actually utilize this one first and drain this one first, and then you're left with this one, so you can actually unplug it and take this one with you. So it's smart enough to know not to deplete this one where you have to then have both of them together. So right now it says it should actually switch over. That one might be 98%. They're both so close. Is there a difference? I'll plug in. It hasn't switched over yet. So I turn on AC. Yeah, this one's 95%. So we've drained this one down to 95%, and this one is 98%. I'm going to unplug this so you don't think that they don't combine. It will just run off this one and or just run off this one. So it'll switch over midway. So here we are. It's on. We hit power. It's drawing. It jumped up to about almost 400 watts starting out. And 284. It's settling down. You see on the display, at this current rate, if it keeps drawing this much, it'll run for 4.2 hours off of just one. So if I plug that one in as well, it should run double that. Well, that one's a little bit fuller. So maybe we'll run 9 hours or something straight off of two of these. We'll be able to sit there and just run the AC, and the AC just kicked off. Unless it cycles, because it'll constantly cycle. Now if it just drew 54 watts, it got 20 hours remaining. Also, another question you might have, and I have tested this, is can you charge it at the same time? So say I have this solar panel back here sitting out in the sun, and I actually have two of them. Can we charge it at the same time? Yes. There's no light, there's no sun here, but I can plug it in and it'll actually charge it at the same time. So it'll handle up to two 100-watt solar panels, so up to about 200 watts of solar input. This right here is the power unit it comes with, which puts out 180 watts. So it's about the exact same you're going to get out of solar. So we can plug that in and simulate solar at the same time we run stuff. So, boom, it's charging at, it'll jump up there, 103, 121, 174. But now we can run stuff at the same time. So let's kick this back on. You'll notice it does something here, where before it was saying about 300 watts draw. Now it says it's only drawing like 150-ish watts, even though the AC is on, because the other 150 plus watts is being powered with this. So if you're running solar, it'll run way longer. Because right now it says it can run, with the AC going, it can run 9.5 hours. So if you're putting solar in throughout the day, you can run this little window AC unit for a long dang time. So there's two things that are important to me when it comes to like a power outage in your home. One is keeping all your food in your refrigerator cooled, and the second is in the winter being able to utilize something like your furnace and keep the house warm. I run off natural gas, but I have an electric blower motor. This is the exact same blower motor that's in my furnace. It runs off 120 volts. So let's see if this can handle running my furnace and for how many hours it can run it for. If it ran constantly, it would run for 3.3 hours, but a furnace cycles on and off, so that's probably about a day. So, will it run a full-size refrigerator? 600 watts, 280. So while it's running, my refrigerator is going to run for about 6.5 hours, but it's going to cycle and probably only run about a quarter of that time. So it's going to run my refrigerator for 24 hours, and that's not even fully charged. So about 24 hours, it would run my fridge, maybe longer. I'll put links below to everything I used in the video, but I'm super impressed right now. Put the pros and cons list, everything else down there. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Bye. Check it out. Go ahead. Get what you want to get. Anything. Go ahead. I think there's a Chick-fil-A sandwich in the bottom. Here. Get one of those. Go ahead. Get it. Come on. Go ahead. Get a sandwich. Yep. Oh, you like them hot. Dang. How are we going to make it hot? Warmed up? Sure thing. I got you covered. Hold on. Pickle or no pickle? You hate the pickle. Just slightly warm? Huh?